What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premzy TV. It's full time at Goodison Park. Arsenal have been defeated 1-0 by Everton. And boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, massive 3 points dropped. Make sure you're smashing a like on this video, people. Subscribe if you're new. We will try to get through as many comments as I can as well to get your thoughts and opinions on the game. But let's just dive into it. I'm not going to lie. New manager bounce. First of all, you got to give Everton massive credit today. Big credit. They made it hard, ugly for us. And you know what? For me, they deserve to win that game. Everton deserve to win that game because in the first half, they had well better chances than us. They didn't just sit back and defend. They attacked us. They tried to get into positions where they can score the goals. Unfortunately for them, Calvert-Lewin didn't score. Decore had an opportunity to score. Calvert-Lewin had another opportunity, put the ball literally just past the post. So it's a bit of a mad thing. Obviously, we're going to have loads of people in the comments bantering Arsenal and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we're still top of the tree. Yeah, the boys weren't at it today. They definitely weren't at it today. I'm going to pinpoint a lot of performances out in this game. But first of all, I just want to give a credit to Everton because new manager bounce, Sean Dyche, I think he was the right appointment for them. You know, they've got themselves out of the relegation zone as well. So they needed this massively. They had planes flying over the top of the stadium today. It's a bit of a mad thing. It's a bit of a mad thing still. But let's look into Arsenal. Let's look into where it went wrong. And for me, where it went wrong is players like Ben White. He wasn't overlapping Saka, giving him that help, giving him that protection that he needed. Obviously, with Zinchenko, for me, I think Zinchenko played well. It's just Martinelli on that left-hand side. He wasn't really getting that much support as Zinchenko was dropping into midfield. But Ben White had a poor game. I think Martinelli had a very poor game. They were getting doubled up on him and Saka. Saka was still trying to make shit happen, still trying to get through. But the shooting boots were off. We got into areas with opportunities to have a go, and we end up absolutely messing it up. We messed it up to a different level. Today is the day that we need to be going out there and beating these kind of teams that are sitting in relegation zone if we really want to go and push on for that title. These games matter. We see Liverpool time and time again missing out to Man City by a point, 2 points. If you can't win the game, go and get a draw out of these games because we've always have a difficult time at Goodison Park. We've not won there since 2017. This is not a big surprise to me. It's not a big surprise to me because I predicted 3-1 to Arsenal. But in my prediction, I said, as long as we could get that first goal, then we'll score a few more. But in order to get in that first goal, it's going to be very difficult because you know what Sean Dyche is like. He was at Burnley. The guy got them promoted and he kept them up with no budget. He made them pragmatic, made them hard to break down. And you can clearly see today that he put all his big bodies in. He put all his big bodies in. That Onana, wow, Onana, Arsenal, I'm telling you now, should have went in for him. Shoulda, woulda, couldas, but what a player he is. Strong, solid, everywhere. Engine on him. Unbelievable. It's a mad thing. You get me? I think Trossard could have come on at half time. I don't agree with Thomas Partey going off. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with Martin Odegaard going off. I think if we needed a goal, I think them two players were going to help progress the ball. Jorginho come on, looked very stagnated. Sometimes you didn't even realise he was on the pitch. Trossard was trying to make stuff happen, had a few good attempts at goal, give us a little bit different to what Martinelli gives us, but he was more effective in the game. But overall, it's a bad day in the office. Bad day in the office. All the fans that have travelled down to Liverpool, they're going to be going home very disappointed. And it's the same situation every single year. Same situation when we come to Goodison. For the last 4 or 5 years, we've just done nothing there. We've done absolutely nothing. And Arteta, for me as well, he should have took Ben White off at half-time, give Tomiyasu a run. Like I touched on, the overlapping run over Saka, it was non-existent. He wasn't giving Saka any help, giving the ball away. Defensively, at the centre-back position, yeah, we weren't too bad. One time in the first half, Gabriel let Decore go. On another day, he could have scored that. The problems occurred on the set pieces. we could clearly see, I don't know if all of you agree with me or not, but we could clearly see, yeah, that every time they had a set piece, they were whipping it right to the back post. What is Martin Odegaard doing on Tarkowski at the back post? Put your biggest centre backs on the biggest centre backs, because they're going to have the most likely impact to defend the ball. And when the ball keeps coming time and time again, it's a matter of time before one of them goes in. But people, make sure you're smashing a like on this video, because I want to get this pushed out as far as I can. And like I said, I'm going to try to go through as many comments as I can. Let's start with a few of what you guys are thinking. Let's have a look. Onana locked everything off today. Coming past him, Jorginho was piss poor for someone that's Prem ready. Again, like I said, bro, Jorginho, he was non-existent at times. Non-existent. John says, brought the subs on a bit too late for me. Oliver, pathetic. We got man in here just laughing. Literally laughing. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, it's not all tits up. You get me? We're still top of the tree, 5 points clear. Man City still got a difficult game going away to Tottenham. So it's not bad. Look, man are saying AFTV and chill. It's all a madness. It's all a madness. But the thing is, we didn't get pumped in and we didn't get battered. But it's very disappointing. We're not being used to losing games this season. So when you're not used to using games, you get frustrated real quick, real fast. And I hate everybody. We showed absolutely nothing. Akib, every time a team doubles up on the wingers, they lock them off. Need overlaps today, just like Newcastle. You know what, bro? Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The double up on him. And you know what? Yeah, you got to give Everton credit, because it wasn't only just them defending. They were on the front foot in large parts of that game trying to go and get that goal. So to us, it was a letdown. It was a letdown today. Losing is part of the game, but not to show up at all against the team that is 19th. Arsenal knew how Everton were going to play, and they showed no fight. Difficult to take. Miles, I agree with you. I honestly agree with you. I think I was expecting a lot more from the boys today. Obviously, Sean Dyche coming in is no excuse, but it is pretty evident that when a manager does come in, they end up getting a new manager bounce. And I think it was a bit of a difficult time for us to face Everton, because they're going to have their tails up, but we're top of the tree. These men are 19th, like you said. We needed to go there and just show them, nah. Wait till next game. But we just didn't have it in our locker, man. Mate, I said this January transfer window was 1-2, and I got crucified. You reap what you sow. It is what it is, isn't it, bro? But even the first 11 that we had on the pitch, yeah, they should have been more than capable enough to get the victory today. They should have been more than capable enough. But what happened is you had Decore in midfield, defensive minded. You had Garner in midfield, defensive minded. And you had Onana in midfield, defensive minded. They literally packed it out. So they literally cut all the passing lanes. We couldn't create anything at all. There was no clear-cut chances from us. And when we did have the opportunities, we were just literally smacking it over the bar on a mad thing. Pick up yourself, Premzy. Love your content. You're a real one. If you can support your team when they lose, don't celebrate when they win. 100%. Nah, you support your team. Do you know what it is? It is what it is, and we're not going to win every single game out there. It's just very disappointing looking at the performance, because I expect better from these boys. What I've seen this season, I expect better from what I've seen today, and especially when the team's down in the dumps. Really, they've got a new manager. Yeah, I get it. They're trying to fight for survival. They're going to be throwing everything at it, but we can't come here and take teams like this lightly, because at the end of the day, look, they went over to City and they got a draw out Man City, and this is what I was referring back to. If we can't get the 3 points, at least get a draw out the game. At least get a draw out the game. But it was just unfortunate that the boys didn't turn up. You know, there's going to be a lot of fans that have travelled down, and they're going to be disappointed. Very, very disappointed. But Arteta, for me, I think he did make the substitutions a little bit slow. I think he was a little bit hasty with taking Thomas Partey off. And even with Martin Odegaard, I would definitely have not took Martin Odegaard off, because if we are going to have any kind of opportunity to go and score and create, he's been our biggest creator this season. I can understand every time he got the ball, he was getting chopped down and he couldn't really find his feet. But we need to keep all the creative players on. Fabio Vieira, this was a very physical game. I don't think Fabio Vieira would have See what I mean? I'm even saying his name wrong. My mind's just blown right about now. I'm so frustrated. It's unreal. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here and I'm real pissed off. But at the same time, I know going to Goodison's not easy. I know them getting a new manager, they're going to have that lift. So it was the worst kind of time to play them. Let's got some more use man are saying. I back Eddie, but his time is coming to an end. Odegaard and Eddie really got on my nerves. Don't give up on the Gunners, large up Premzy. I think it's a bit harsh to say, Eddie's time's coming to an end. Since Jesus has been out, he stepped up and he's done well for us. He's got the goals. He's been instrumental in how we've played, coming back, dropping in and helping the team out. I think sometimes you're going to get games like this. You got to think we can't go through every single match, winning every single game. It's just that there was no energy. Everton had more energy than us. Everton looked like they wanted it more than us. That's where the frustrating part comes into it. That's where it comes down to. We needed to have that fear factor. We needed Everton to be fearful of us. But now we've lost 2 games on the bounce. Yeah. Hopefully now going into the next game, we can fix it real quick, real fast. But it's mad. Ibby says, I can't complain, Premzy deserve to lose. I hope this is a slap in the face we needed. Not the end of the world. Bounce back next week. We go again. Bro, I hope you're right. You get me? I just hope that this doesn't take a knock on the players now, because these are the kind of situations throughout the season where we need to see that response, see where we're going to bounce back and how we bounce back, in what fashion, because we have to fucking bounce back in this game. You get me? We have to really have a push for the title. Where I was really worried is that when we normally go down a goal, there's a fast, immediate response. Today, there was no response. There was no quick, immediate response. The man back on it. We stepped it up a little bit. You could see that we was going after it a little bit, but it just wasn't good enough today. It just wasn't good enough. Can't slander Eddie. Every player had an off game, but Everton just never gave up. Bro, I totally agree with you. I don't think we could just pinpoint one player out. I think there was a few players that had a poor game. I think if you was to look at the standout players that had a poor game, I'd have to bring Martinelli to the forefront. I'd have to bring Ben White to the forefront. Granit Xhaka as well. Granit Xhaka today, oh my days, this was like the old Granit Xhaka that we've seen. I'm telling you, giving the ball away, not finding the spaces well, not progressing it well enough, sideways passing. Granit Xhaka was a big disappointment for me today. Let me know what you think in the comment about Granit Xhaka's performance, because for me, it looks like he fit the mold of the old Xhaka. What I did like to see towards the end, though, I like to see Zinchenko getting into the faces of Morpay, getting into the faces of the players, feeling upset, feeling that pain that, yeah, we've lost this game, because I want to see that these players feel it. If they don't feel it, it's not a good sign. And to be fair, towards the end, I seen them feel it. So it is what it is. But you just got to give massive credit to Everton. You got to give massive credit to Everton. This is exactly what it's about. Need a response. Can't let losses stack up. Definitely, bro. 110%. Oliver, Xhaka was shocking. We need more on the next match, but I'm really pissed off, bro. I think everybody is. Everybody is. Zinchenko wastes the ball too much and gets involved too much. Just defend and do your job. I think that's just down to the tactics that Arteta's trying to deploy. I think when we haven't got the ball, he's in a defensive position. When we have got the ball, he's trying to make that extra body in the middle of the park. But then what it does is it gives us a problem with the overlapping on Martinelli, because we've seen against Newcastle, these man, they defended literally 2-man to 1-man, and it works. Today, 2-man on Saka, 2-man on Martinelli, and we couldn't really do anything. And there wasn't enough creativity through the middle of the park. If they're stopping Odegaard, Xhaka's not really that creative force. Eddie Nketiah's dropping in, and then we haven't got no one up front. We couldn't even get the ball and whip it into the box too tough, because they've got big players like Tarkowski, Connor Cody, Onana as well. Onana's a unit, an absolute unit. Absolute unit. One loss and you want to start dropping people. Are you serious, bro? Listen, football is about analysing the game. And if you're sitting there and you're happy with certain people's performances, bro, you need to give your head a fucking wobble, mate. I'm telling you now for a fact, because I just say it as it is. And the bottom line of it is, like I've said, if you would have watched this thing from the beginning, you'd hear my whole opinion and the whole concept of it. Like I said, I'm not letting my head drop with this one result, but you need to call certain shit out. When players are not stepping up to the bill, they need to get called out, because that's what it's about. I'm telling you now for a fact, every single player had a poor game today. But for me, 3 players in particular had a worse game than everyone else, and that was Martinelli, Granit Xhaka, and Ben White. Them 3 players today had a worse game than what everyone else did, and that's the bottom line. Say no more. I thought you was trying to talk to me then, because obviously I don't know if you've been in my streams before or not, but I'm not one of them to just listen to any crud, bro. I'd say it as it is. White for Tomiyasu, Martinelli for Trossard next game. What's he? And you know what? Jorginho was a big disappointment today as well. Obviously, it's his debut with us. Don't want to get on his back. He's coming to the game with 1-0 down, but he looks non-existent to me. He absolutely looked non-existent to me. Do you know what I mean? Look non-existent. But people, what can we say? We've lost the game. We still got to back the boys. We've got to get behind them. We're still in a good position. And hopefully, fingers crossed, next game we can bounce back in it. We can bounce back next game, get the 3 points, and take it from there. I think any team that would have come and played Everton today, any team, Man City, Arsenal, United, any team, yeah, they would have found it very, very difficult. Very difficult. Sean Dyche had them very well drilled today. It was like playing a Burnley at Turf Moor today, I'm telling you. But these guys needed it. They needed it. They had the bit between their teeth. And you got to think, when a new manager comes in as well, players want to show this guy, I want to be starting week in, week out. It gives them the absolute most kind of motivation to want to play well. And when Arsenal rock up in town, if they play well against the big boys, it gives them a massive shout to start going forward. So it is what it is. Premzy, I rate you. Honest, it's that simple. Certain players have been terrible. 100% Premzy, Arteta and Jorginho. You know what? I totally agree with you. Ultimately, it is the second loss, bro. And it is all right to be upset. But the problem is, we're not used to losing this season. So when you do lose, I'm telling you, it's frustrating as fuck. But people, make sure you're smashing a like on this video, please. You get me? And obviously, subscribe if you're new. We want to be pushing to new heights. I want to be bringing you more content on here. But I'm only going to do that if the channel grows and the content gets pushed out, because otherwise, there's no point. So make sure you smash a like on the video, even though that we lost. But it is what it is. Let's just try to look at the positives. Let's just try to be fair, there was no positives to take out today's game. That's the God's honest truth in it. There's no positives to take out today's game. But let's look at the positives moving forward. The positives that we can say moving forward is Trossard come on and he looked like he can make an impact. He had a few shots here and there. He's trying to take on players. Personally, I'd probably put Martinelli on the bench for the next game and give Trossard a run out and see how that works, because for teams that have been seeing us play the exact same team week in, week out, it gives them time to study us and understand what we're going to try and do. If we bring in a few different players and dotted around the team, it'll make people think differently, and whatever plan that they've put down, it will just go up in the air, because we offer something different. City will win the league, like Neville says. You know what? City are favourites to win the league because they've got the experience and the know-how, but we're in the position to really be the front runners and take this league into our own hands. And that's what we need to do. We not need to just let this one result just determine the rest of our season, because like somebody said in there, this is only our second defeat. Like, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. But the performance today was what was shocking. That is it, bro. That is it. It's absolutely mad. But people, I'm going to make a move now. Arsenal have lost 1-0 to Everton at Goodison Park. I know everybody is frustrated. I know everybody is pissed off. But just keep your head. Just keep your head, people, because there's more to come from this team. Like I said, I was a big doubter of Arteta. I couldn't see what he was doing. He's proven me wrong. He's proven loads of Arsenal fans wrong. So we got to keep the faith. And like I said, it would have been very difficult for any team to come to Goodison. But make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, people, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.